Welcome back to MCP Connects. Today we talk with Guatemalan singer-songwriter Gabby Moreno. Gabby tells us how she's been staying connected and inspired these past few months, and she talks about music as truth. She also performs and dedicates Un Canción Muy Linda to our rock stars and hospitals around the world. ¡Nos vamos!
Inolvidable, tarde o temprano estaré contigo para seguir.
Joining us from Los Angeles, we have Guatemalan singer-songwriter Gabby Moreno. How are you, Gabby?
I'm doing great. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for having me. So good to speak to you and to be here and get to sing a little song.
Good, yeah. Well, so last time we worked together was at McCaw Hall in Seattle, and you were on tour with David Gray, and we teamed up, and you sent a ton of love to kids in hospitals. Thank you so much for doing that.
Of course, yeah. It was a wonderful thing to do, and wow. I mean, it's amazing how time flies. That was about a year ago, I think.
That was a year ago, and a big year. You know, I mean, this is a lot has changed in this year. So, I'm curious a couple things. I'm curious, how was that experience for you playing for not just the folks at McCaw Hall, but for the kids that were joining from hospitals around the world? What is that experience for you as an artist?
I had never done anything like that, and I thought it's such a wonderful idea. It's so great to be able to send a shout out to kids all over the world, and to send some love and to dedicate a song. So I really love doing it, and I'm so glad to be able to do it virtually. Well, I guess that time was virtually as well, right? Because we're always, it's great. It's really wonderful. I'm really privileged to be doing this. Thank you.
Oh, absolutely. And we are honored to be teaming up with you to do it again. Like you say, our normal setup is virtual as well. Obviously, the kids are in their hospital room, so they can't be at the venue. But typically, you're at a venue playing for your crowd. Obviously, that has changed. How does that feel for you as an artist? I mean, to not be out touring and connecting with your audience. How have you been these last couple of months?
Well, the beginning was tough, especially because I was constantly on the road, and I was always traveling, and I can't remember the last time I was home for this long. It's been now 5, almost 6 months, and it felt very strange at the beginning. But we're creatures of habit, I guess, and so I we get used to things, and now also we've found new things to do and new ways to connect with people. And so I've done a few shows virtually, and it's been great. It's a little strange, of course, because you're not there to connect physically with people, but it's still, you still feel a little bit of that connection and love from people. They send you messages, and it's the new normal, so we gotta get used to it and adjust to it, and hope that this will all pass soon. But in the meantime, I think it's also very important to stay connected and to bring music to people. Music, as we know, brings people together, and it can be very healing, and I think it's just very important to keep doing it.
I love it. So how long have you been playing and touring? I mean, how long has music been a really significant part of your life?
Touring, I'm going to say exactly 11 years, only because I distinctly remember my very first tour, which was back in 2009 with Tracy Chapman. I opened her tour. It was around this time, August of 2009. And I just never looked back. It was amazing. That was like the beginning of my touring career, so to speak. But I've been singing since I was a little kid. in Guatemala. Like I was singing when I was 9 years old. It was the first time that I sang in front of an audience, and I would sing in festivals and wherever I could in Guatemala. And I never, never stopped dreaming and yeah, basically dreaming about making music.
And do you have a single memory that was kind of a powerful music memory that made you want to perform and sing in front of people?
Uh, um, well, I do have many, but I believe that particular time when I was 9 years old, and it was the very first time that I got on stage. I just remember being very nervous, of course, before I got on stage, but then once I started singing, like everything just went away, and I just felt like this I can't even describe it, just this very powerful feeling of a connection with people that I immediately in that moment I thought this is what I want to do for the rest of my life, and I never want to let it go. It just felt really good. And so, yeah, I think that was probably
that's a huge memory, right? I mean, that's pretty
yeah.
pivotal to step up in front of a crowd at 9 years old is bold, good for you
Right.
for getting up and
Yeah.
doing it. But then to have this realization or this experience through music where you connected with people at a deeper level is incredible. I mean, that's
Yeah.
really what melodic is all about, is trying to connect people at a deeper level, especially now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, thank you so much for what you guys are doing. It's really wonderful.
Thank you for joining us and doing it. I'm curious, do you have, with all these experiences, playing in Guatemala and now being here in the United States and touring and opening for incredible people like Tracy Chapman and David Gray, and just your music has a depth and a power to it that's beautiful. Do you have a word that you can wrap up what music means to you in one word? And it doesn't have to be in English. It could be a Spanish word.
Ooh. Well, I guess the first word that comes to mind is truth. It's my truth, but it's also vida, life. Okay, I gave you 2 words.
Perfect. and both fantastic words. I love it. You are the first person to use the word truth, and I think that's very cool. That's not a word that most people I think would apply to music, but the reality is, like you say,
Yeah.
I don't know, in the way that it allows you to connect with people and make this deeper, I don't know, almost a deeper relationship is powerful.
That's exactly it. And I thought of it because whenever I write songs, I always try to write something from like a very honest place. And honestly, I feel like to me that's what good music is about. It's about being honest, about your feelings and about yourself and about others, and so all that.
What's there was an old saying about music that it doesn't have to be, it's not about how complex it is, it's about 3 chords and the truth. If you take these, there it is.
3 chords and the truth. Yeah. Well, I guess that's more like applies to country music.
Right, maybe.
Folk music and country, even blues, I would say. But yeah, it is. It really, that's what it boils down to.
Beautiful. So do you have some truth you would like to share with some kids in hospitals that are watching us today?
Yes. I do. I have this song that I wrote about my experience as an immigrant coming here to the United States almost 20 years ago from Guatemala. And the song is called Fronteras, which means borders. But it's more about, just getting rid of those borders, like inside yourself too. It's a song about hope, about love, and
who are the rock stars you'd like to dedicate this performance?
All right, so I'm gonna dedicate the song to following rock stars: Catalea in Minnesota, Princess Lexi in Oregon, Mason in Texas, Samantha in California, and Tiggy in Kansas. And also to all the kids watching at Goryev Children's Hospital in New Jersey, George Mark Children's in California, Sydney Children's in Australia, Starlight Children's Foundation, Children's Hospital Los Angeles, and Seacrest Studios. Mwah. This is for all of you guys. Here we go. Here's my guitar. It seems like I don't have anything, but it's right here. Here we go. Hay un camino que nos trajo hasta aquí. No conoce las fronteras, esta pasión dentro de mí. Es anhelo el que me empuja cada nuevo amanecer, con mis temores, ilusiones y los restos del ayer. La esperanza nos acompaña, con ella nada nos puede detener. Yo de tu mano, tú de la mía, no hay nada que temer. Y río y bailo, está en mis venas, y libre sueño. This is where I belong. This is where I belong. ¿Quién sabe lo que el mañana nos quisiera regalar? Hoy es todo lo que tengo y lo voy a atesorar. Poniendo de manifiesto cuánta luz puedo irradiar y ser feliz, que es el remedio, que todo no puede mejorar. Río y bailo, está en mis venas, y libre sueño. This is where I belong. Y río y bailo, está en mis venas, y libre sueño. This is where I belong. This is where I belong. Yo pertenezco aquí.
Yes! Gabby, that was absolutely beautiful. Your voice
Thank
is
you.
stunning.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Thank you so
So
much
sweet.
for sharing that song with us and with our rock stars.
Lots of love to everybody. Thank you so much for watching, and stay strong. You guys are rock stars. You guys are superheroes. You're so brave. You inspire me and so many people. So yes, mwah, mwah.
Thanks so much for tuning in. If you're a musician and would like to join us in supporting hospitalized kids, email us at rockstar@melodiccaring.org. I'm Levi Ware, and this is the Melodic Caring Project.